Unless you've been living under a rock with zero Wi-Fi connection, you're probably familiar with the major upcoming Marvel Cinematic Universe film, Avengers: Infinity War. It's a culmination of several years of Marvel films leading up to this event, and of course it's got everyone buzzing. It's one of the most highly anticipated films this decade, and you bet your butt that there are a ton of theories as to how things will pan out. One branch of theories concerns the Soul Stone, the last Infinity Gem that has yet to be located. As the Collector says, before creation itself there were 6 singularities, then the universe exploded into existence and the remnants of the system were forced into concentrated ingots, Infinity Stones. So it's kind of a big deal, and you can see why nobody wants to see all those gems in Thanos' grasp. So today we're playing the speculation game with our list of the top 10 Soul Stone fan theories. And be warned, there are spoilers for multiple MCU films on this list. I mean, you should probably catch up anyway. And at number 10, Thanos theory. Starting off this list is a theory that many fans have latched onto, the Thanos theory. Essentially, this is a theory that each letter of the word Thanos corresponds to the location of one of the Infinity Gems. T stands for Tesseract, a cube created by cosmic entities that housed the Space Stone and was kept in Odin's vault. A is for Ether, a fluid and ever-changing force that the Reality Stone had become. N stands for Necklace, referring to the Eye of Agamotto that contains the Time Stone in Doctor Strange's possession currently. O is for the Orb, the relic where the Power Stone was chilling, and the weapon that Ronan the Accuser was hunting for Thanos in the first Guardians film. It was given to the Nova Corps for safekeeping. And lastly, there's S for Loki's scepter, which was the original vessel of the Mind Stone, although now it lives on Vision's forehead. Which all leaves H for the location of the Soul Stone. Most of the more popular theories on this list correspond with that letter, but we'll get to that in a sec. Up next at 9, the Eternal Flame. Falling in line with the Thanos theory, the Eternal Flame has been speculated to be the home of the Soul Gem. Why? Well, similar to the Tesseract, it would be a fitting vessel capable of containing that kind of power. The Eternal Flame can't be extinguished either. It's wielded by Hela, played by the goddess that is Cate Blanchett, and used by her in Thor Ragnarok to bring Fenris Wolf and undead soldiers back to life. She refers to it as true power, and considering that the Soul Stone has the ability to manipulate, steal, and alter souls, well, that kinda sounds up the Flame's alley, doesn't it? In addition to that, H would be for Hela, since it's in her possession. Up next at 8, Howard the Duck. Another take on the Thanos H-letter theory is our favorite anthropomorphic beaked buddy, Howard the Duck. We saw Howard enter the MCU in the post-credits scene of the first Guardians film, where he has a drink with the Collector, a character who once possessed 2 Infinity Gems, leading some fans to suspect that perhaps he gave one to his buddy Howard for safekeeping. This theory comes from fans speculating that his appearance in the post-credits scene can't be random. The scene calls attention to Howard, but it does also include the likes of Cosmo the Space Dog, who, to be fair, seemed like more of an Easter egg rather than a character with importance. That being said, it's been argued that Howard's existence in the film was solely director James Gunn getting his geek on, and adding him to the movie for fun as a tribute to Howard's fans. Up next at 7, the Hulk. When Hasbro unveiled their line of Avengers Infinity War toys, some people noticed something about the Hulk's toy. So first off, the toys in general have a cool little feature. If you scan them with the Iron Man Hero Vision AR mask, you get bonuses in a video game, and the pieces you scan are shaped like Infinity Stones. The Hulk's action figure has the Soul Stone, leading some fans to speculate whether or not the character will have some sort of connection to the stone and its whereabouts in the film. What ultimately debunks this theory though is the fact that toy spoilers have been inaccurate in the past. So just because one set of toys features a fun gimmick with the Infinity Gems doesn't mean it can form the whole plot of a film. Up next, number 6, Adam Warlock. While it's been stated that Adam Warlock won't be appearing in Avengers Infinity War, some fans are hoping that that's just misdirection, and the film will be the character's first appearance, rather than the promised Guardians of the Galaxy 3 appearance. In the comics, Warlock has a long history with the Infinity Gems, and his connection with the Soul Gem is why fans hypothesized that he would make an appearance in the first place. That being said, there have been hints to his involvement in the MCU so far. A cocoon that appears in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 post-credit scene was spotted, the same cocoon that holds Adam and the Soul Stone. It was also spotted in the mid-credit scene for Thor: The Dark World in the Collector's possession. Both appearances appear to have a gem situated at the top of the cocoon. There's also a theory that suggests the Soul Stone won't make an appearance in the film at all, which could make sense if it's used to introduce Adam later down the line, but seems improbable. Up next at 5, Tony Stark's armor. The teaser trailer for Infinity War gave us a whole lot of material to flaunt over, including a shot that featured Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark in a new suit of Iron Man armor. To the untrained eye, it was pretty obvious too, the dead giveaway being that his suit has a new core. The core is what's raising questions. Could this suit be powered by the Soul Stone? With the rumors that this may be the last film that Iron Man appears in, there's a lot of speculation as to whether Tony uses the Soul Stone to power this new set of armor, and if something tragic happens to him in the process. That being said, the suit looks a whole lot like the Bleeding Edge armor that Stark wears in the comics, but considering the MCU does have its differences from the comics, it's possible that the film may have only just borrowed the design. having different plans for Stark and its narrative. Up next, number 4, Captain Marvel. When it was accidentally leaked by directors Anthony and Joe Russo that Brie Larson's Captain Marvel would be making a cameo in the Infinity War film, people went nuts. And fair enough. Her involvement could mean a lot of things, and since the mantle of Captain Marvel has been involved with Thanos before in the comics, this has led to the speculation that Captain Marvel may be the one with the Soul Stone in her possession. It would explain why the gem has been absent in the films leading up to the Infinity War so far, especially since her character will have a different story than Danvers does in the comics. And at number 3, Mjolnir. A popular theory about the stone's whereabouts is that it's inside Thor's now destroyed hammer, Mjolnir. This primarily hinges on the fact that Mjolnir has the ability to detect worthy souls. It fits the Thanos theory, H being for hammer, and it cannot be handled by a human mortal. Thor is supposed to be a huge part of Infinity War, so perhaps his side mission with Rocket Raccoon and Groot may have something to do with retrieving his hammer's remains. And at number 2, the Heart of Wakanda. Likely the most plausible theory as to where the Soul Stone is hiding is that it exists in the heart of Wakanda. Not only does this fit the Thanos theory, but it also houses the City of the Dead, which would align with the Soul Stone's abilities. Others have speculated that the H could stand for the heart-shaped herb. Other reasons for this Wakanda theory? Well, in the Infinity War trailer, Thanos sends the Black Order to Wakanda, and we know a big battle takes place there. Although some information has come out that Thanos sent his Black Order there because Vision is being safeguarded in Wakanda. Although some fans have noticed that it looked kinda like Vision didn't have the stone embedded in his forehead in the Super Bowl trailer. Prior to the release of the Black Panther film, it was speculated that we would get a glimpse of the stone there, but instead no sign of it, and received other post-credit scenes that, allegedly, had nothing to do with the stone. In addition to this, some fans think that the stone is contained in the vibranium meteorite that crashed into Wakanda years and years ago. So, lots of possibilities. And finally, in at number 1, Heimdall. This theory makes our top spot for its uniqueness. Seems like a bit of a stretch, yet it could add up perfectly, and be a surprising enough answer to where the Soul Stone has been hiding. There's several points of evidence for it too. His eyes are the same color as the Soul Stone. Those eyes give him the ability to see into all 9 realms and the 10 trillion souls that inhabit them. He has an orange gem in his armor on his breastplate, although in Ragnarok he didn't have that armor anymore, and his name fits into the Thanos theory. But the most convincing fact is that in Age of Ultron, Scarlet Witch forces Thor to see a vision of a blind Heimdall, which made fans think that perhaps the Soul Stone is contained in his eyes, meaning he'll have them ripped out in Infinity War. Harsh, but seems convincing, and it's crazy enough to work. And there we have it, friends. Which of these theories do you think is correct? Or at least on the right track? Give us your 2 cents in those comments below. If you dug this video, please show some love by hitting the like and subscribe buttons, and please check out our other Infinity War videos by clicking on the playlist that's currently flashing on your screen right now. In the meantime, thanks for watching everybody. Catch you all in the next one.